Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, drop me a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys, it goes a massive way to helping out the channel too. So, this week we are on issue 59 of Stormbringer magazine, and of course last week's issue is still missing because, yeah, every now and again this does happen. When you pick it up from a newsagent, you might end up missing an issue. This is probably the third or fourth time this has happened just in the Stormbringer run alone. It happened 3 or 4 times during Imperium, and it happened 3 or 4 times during Mortal Realms. It is the way it goes. It's a little bit frustrating, but you know, we'll move on anyway. So issue 59 does come with more reinforcements for our Cadron Overlords in the shape of the Thunderers. These are pretty cool, heavy hitting dwarves, essentially, with some pretty big guns. So they do like to utilise a lot of shooting, and yeah, they're pretty good. You get 5 of them, but not too bad. They look alright. Yeah, not really much else I can say about them. They're alright. I've never used them before, never had any before. Yeah, they're just alright. So, anyway, after that kind of short appraisal of these minis, we'll yeah, jump into the magazine, obviously. So, first off, we are greeted by a luminous history. So, the tales of Haish's history tell of great accomplishment and unbridled arrogance. The forces that have raised its people to greatness are the same that have led to their near destruction. From the Age of Myth to the Age of Sigmar, the lands have been racked with bloody wars against threats from without and from within. During the Age of Myth, the brothers Tyrion and Teclis awoke in the realm of Haish. After many adventures, they met Sigmar on his journeys, and the brothers joined his great pantheon of order. They flourished as part of the alliance, and Tyrion was reunited with his lover Alarielle. However, Teclis clashed with Nagash, who was then part of the Union. Seeking to recreate the elven people, the brothers bound the chaos god Slaanesh and extracted the elven soul essence that he had devoured. So, if you are unaware, during the world that was, good old Tyrion and Teclis, the twins of the elven kingdoms, were very opposite each other. So Teclis is very magic orientated, thin, spindly, not very strong, and not very filled with martial prowess. However, his magical ability and a kind of acclinations are very, very high. Whereas Tyrion, not very magical, but his martial prowess is nearly second to none. So he's really, really tough. He's very military minded and a great leader in general. And he was a lover of Alarielle. So, yeah, it kind of goes like that. Anyway, they were part of the High Elves, so they existed within them realms, and yeah, in good old Ulthuan, and yeah, so on and so forth. And then the end times happened, and they were kind of transported to mortal realms eventually. Anywho, moving on from that little bit of history, we get a bit more information about Spirefall. So during the Age of Chaos, the leaders of Lumineth Realm Lords began to compete amongst themselves. Eventually their arrogance led from competition to open war. As Slaanesh's demons whispered to them, the Lumineth leaders began to unleash forbidden spells and powerful artifacts, leading to the scarring of Haish and the near destruction of the Lumineth civilization. Yeah. Not very good there, really, is it? During the Age of Sigmar, the realm of Haish came under relentless attack from the Ossiarch Bone Reapers. The Lumineth Realm Lords met Bone Reapers in battle countless times and proved to be an even match for their grim foe. So, if you want a bit more information about that, you can actually find some more good novels with the Lumineth Realm Lords. So I can't remember what any of them are called now. I've had the 2 of them. Children of Teclis, I think, was one of them, or something like that. And yeah, the one that kind of relates to the Ossiarch Bone Reapers is actually really, really good and quite enjoyable. The other one's not too bad. It's pretty decent. It's more about the good old Lumineth going up against Slaanesh, and yeah, it's pretty decent. It's not too bad. Anywho, moving on, we get more apparel. So the Fate of Chaos Worshippers. So if you're into your chaos, you might want to go through this a little bit. It gives you a little bit of lore about them, and the fact that the wretched sinner who follows chaos, it matters not whether they sought it out or whether it hunted them. Neither does it matter that they delight in or weep at the evil they cause to their fellow women and men. All are damned, and their lives and souls are forfeit. So this is kind of very a little bit different. So if you are a kind of a generic follower of chaos, you might get hunted by the witch hunters. If you are a true follower of chaos, and you become part of their hordes and ranks, then in all honesty, your soul is going to go to chaos eventually when you die, and be forever tormented, more than likely. So it's not all it's cracked up to be, being a chaos worshipper. You get a bit more information about their damnation and the judgment as well for them, so pretty cool stuff there. Then we move on, we get a page for our Grunstock Thunderers. So Grunstock Thunderers are elite armoured gunners who carry a variety of ingenious ranged weapons that fire a terrifying arsenal of munitions. As key units with the Grun Corps, Grunstock Thunderers are hired to protect the sky fleets from any hostiles on the land or in the air. So they do contain some of the best weapons that you can get with the good old Caradron Overlords, and they're pretty cool. So you do get a bit more information, so you get to do their traits and usual name and name the unit and all that type of good stuff. Putting them together is fairly easy. I mean, in all honesty, I probably would paint them separate from the weapon, but you don't have to. You can paint it all in one go. It's entirely up to you. But yeah, it's not too bad. Obviously, there are some different ways of building things and such like. Just depends on how you want to build it, in all honesty. They're fairly straightforward though, and they will look not too bad when you're all done with them, in all honesty. So when they're all done, they're going to be fairly sturdy, squat little buggers with big guns. Painting them, fairly simple if you're following the guide. Obviously there are different skyports, so you can go different colour combinations, or you can create your own faction within them. Entirely up to you how you want to go about doing it. But I mean the actual guide's not too bad. Obviously there's with this kind of colour scheme though, there is a lot of metalwork, as you can see, which I don't mind, but I don't care for it at exactly the same time. It's okay, but I think sometimes less is more when it comes to the metalwork, which is sometimes why the Stormcast Eternals look a bit boring and generic, because they're all in that gleaming gold Sigmarite armour, and it looks a little bit meh. So, anyway, you get your War Scroll for them. Obviously, the War Scrolls, when the new edition for good old Age of Sigmar comes out, are going to be null and void. So, yeah, it is what it is. However, I can't imagine they'll be too dissimilar. I imagine they will have still a little bit of similarity to them in terms of certain traits. So, but I mean, still, the way these work is, the idea behind these magazines is it's still worth collecting them, because if you're a new player, you learn how the game works, and there are going to be systems from the current edition of Age of Sigmar that are going to work in this new edition, and they're going to be tweaked and such like and so forth. And that's generally how it mostly goes anyway. So, not too bad. Moving on though, obviously you got your battle plan. So, Forged in War, running the gauntlet. So, you get your Order territory and you get the Destruction territory. You're picking 2 heroes and 4 troops from either list, and have a bit of fun with it. So, it's not too bad. You've got your 3 objectives weirdly in between the Destruction territory, and you can kind of basically slam your Order guys straight through the middle. Have a bit of fun with it, why not? Anywho, moving on though, obviously you got your muster into battle bit on the back. We have an update. So from issue 61 we'll start getting the Gargants, we'll get the good old Scumdrek, we've got the Ardboys coming, we have Stormdrakes, we have more good old Stormcast Eternals to come as well, in the shape of Vigilors, and yeah, we have some really good stuff to look forward to, some more scenery bits as well, which will be really, really good, and that should take us up to the end, if I remember rightly. So yeah, we have a lot of good stuff to look forward to. It doesn't look like a lot in that image, but there are always paint issues in between all of that. I reckon the 2 Guardian Idols as well, we're going to get in 2 separate issues. Personally, I reckon that's how they'll go about doing it. And then we've got more of the Domicile Shell, another battle map, that type of stuff. Moving on though, obviously next week and the week after is parts 1 and 2 of the Ale Guzzler Gargant. If you are lucky enough to find this anywhere out and about, I generally would recommend picking up 1 or 2 copies of it. I'm not going to lie, I know it's sold out on Forbidden Planet. It's going to be very, very difficult to get from a lot of places. You're going to see a load of these popping up on Facebook and eBay and all that type of stuff, where people are going to sell it for more than what it's worth, because, you know, why not? You know, capitalism apparently rules the heads of people. But yeah, it is what it is. In other news though, if you haven't already seen it, the new images for the new Stormcast Eternal Liberators have been released. They look pretty cool. I do generally like them. I think they look pretty good. They fit in with the new Stormcast Eternal aesthetic. So they're pretty cool and they're pretty nifty. And, you know, some of them have 2 weapons, some of them have 1, some of them have a big one. Yeah, happy days. I'm looking forward to seeing New Skaven though, because that'll be really, really good when they finally release some images for them. Anyway, I've rabbited on long enough. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you sometime soon. Bye bye now.